little bit of Legions tonight.
So yeah, our Legions videos have not been very active, so we're gonna do some active Legion stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So
Schwabi has actually finally played some games.
so I finally got my hands into playing the game.
Yeah, with Rebels.
With Rebels, of course. Who else, right? Come on. I always play Rebels. Why wouldn't I play Rebels? Anyways, so we're playing in an Escalade campaign, which is new for all the new people that are kind of getting introduced to the game that they released to play.
Yeah, it's the first one. You start off with the 2 3x3s and move into our 2 3x6s. Yeah.
So, and it's from one of our stores out here, Nerd Haven.
Yeah, we're playing.
And so that's once a week. We were doing that, and so we've had 2 weeks now. Yeah. And the first week I won by default.
By default, you got a freebie.
Got a freebie.
And the second one. What did you play in your second one?
So my second one, I played with Leia and Luke with the troopers, the fleet troopers, and 2 regular rebel troopers.
Yeah.
I think they're rebel troopers.
Yeah, I kept you just all with troopers and a
so
couple leaders.
I got to roll lots of dice.
Yeah.
Which for me is extremely good because I have very bad dice rolls. So that was really good. But it was a good introduction to the game. The player I played, Ken, one of our Crimson Night Raven guys, I played against him, and he was extremely patient with me and kind of showed me the ropes. Unfortunately, I was able to beat him off the table. But I think that's because he was really able to concentrate too much on the fact of his game too much, and he was able to, because he's focusing on trying to show me how to do certain things.
Well, it was also an excellent build.
So, okay, I'll give credit to the build.
Yeah,
but
it was fun.
The build is like, obviously I don't still have my own stuff, so I borrowed Jarrett's Rebel stuff because he plays Imperial, so it's quite easy for me to just grab his Rebel stuff to play. And so that's what we did. I played that and I won. I was pretty excited with the game. I think it has a lot of different, unique kind of maneuvers, and the way it rolls, the way it plays. It seems like it plays really, really smoothly. I like the fact that your movement templates actually bend and stuff, so they don't have to be straight, right? It's like they can bend them and move them and maneuver them however you want from the start of the thing. I think a couple of my placements were a little bit off, but first time playing,
that comes with time.
It'll get better.
So Luke and Leia, which one did you like more? Luke or Leia?
You know what? I kind of liked both of them. I thought that they together, both of them made it was a really good match.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I kind of threw Leia in first because she had her fleet troopers not too close by her, and she took a couple of hits, but she was down to like I think 2 or 3 health.
Yeah.
And then I threw Luke in, and Luke pretty much went in with his lightsaber and wiped out a trooper, snowtrooper troop. Ken was playing Veers with 2 speed bikes.
Okay.
And one snow troopers troop, and 3 regular stormtrooper troops. So it was quite the. At first, I was a little bit taken back by the amount of people his size army compared to mine. Mine only had Luke, Leia, and 3 troops, and I'm like, he's got like 8, and he's got like all of his troops are like, like 7 or 8 troopers in like a bunch, right? So I was like, oh, but yeah, it worked out really well. It was fun. I really enjoyed the game. I think it's a great game. I'm looking forward to playing more of it and moving forward.
The troopers or the fleet troopers? Because they work different. How did you find those 2?
You know what? I really like the fleet troopers, but the regular troopers, you roll more dice with.
Well, I set them up. Yeah, you had the guns. You could roll a whole bunch of
dice
with them.
So I liked being able to roll more dice, where the fleet troopers were very minimal amount of dice.
Well, they don't move as far either, and I believe the shooting range is what, 2?
Yeah.
So you got the
other ones were 2 as well, though.
They work well with Leia.
But it was great. The game was very well played. I didn't just jump everybody in like crazy and whatnot. I played it very safe, I guess you can say. Just kind of slowly inch them forward.
That's the way you play Rebels. You keep them in cover.
And trying to do the best I can to just inch them forward and getting into a position where they were able to do it. I did make one mistake when I did set up. I kind of set one set of troopers farther away from the rest of them. So I was thinking that trooper was that squad is going to get blown out by the bikes. But I was able to use Leia's special ability, which allowed her to do a second attack.
Yeah.
Which then I was able, with my troopers, I was able to wipe out one of the bikes almost. And then with Leia's double attack, I wiped out a bike and a half.
Yeah.
Under one, and then the bikes pretty much
fell apart.
Yeah. So
that's the problem with the Imperial bikes is, but one set of them, once you get 2 or 3 sets of them on the table and fly them in a force, then they're more to be dealt with. But just one set of bikes is just suicide.
But the Legion's a great game. I knew I would really like it anyways when I got into it. So
yeah. I mean, I lost that. I lost my 500-point game.
Yeah, well, you did it on purpose.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not.
Okay, listen to this guy. So I come in to talk to him one day. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, we just took you chatting." He's like, "Yeah, I played my game." I'm like, "Oh yeah." He says, "Yeah, I wanted to get home and watch a movie with my son, so I just threw my troops right into everybody." And then he's sitting here complaining, "Oh, I lost my game, man. Like it was bad." Well, no kidding, mister. I'm just going to throw all my troops in the middle of the battlefield and let them blow up.
This is the first escalation league. And then there's another one that's 800 points, another 4 games. I've already done both sets at another store. So this one I'm kind of riding out because I want more cards and more tokens. When we get to the 800-point games, I'll be a lot more of a competitor. Now that I've done a full series of the 800-point games in different scenarios, going back to the 3x3 map kind of just sucks.
Okay, well then.
but it is. I mean, I fully support the whole way that FFG set it up because it is a fun series.
I think that it's I think the way, and again, I think that FFG actually built Legions smartly.
Well, and another thing,
they're introducing it smartly.
On my second game, my opponent, he had a strong, good rebel build, and
Rebels!
I did my 500-point. I did the sacrifice because I put in a set of speeder bikes, and then just had Darth Vader, a couple sets of snowtroopers, and a set of normal stormtroopers. And the build that I want to get put together isn't too solid until you get to about the 650, the 800 points of it, because the speeder bikes by themselves, they're just flying in to get blown to pieces.
So you know, Ken, I love playing you, man. I love playing against you. It was great fun, and you were very patient with me. I really appreciate it, but I really love blowing up your troops. And I really love blowing up the bikes. My first goal was just to blow up the bikes.
You know what? Next round, if he's going to do what I'm going to do and put another set of bikes in there, yeah, now it's going to have some bike.
I don't have to worry about it because I've already played him once.
4 bikes on the table.
So I've already played him once, so I don't got to worry about playing him again.
Yeah, 4 bikes on the table, and we're on a 3x6 map now, so the bikes actually have somewhere to go instead of just fly in a circle and be shot.
Anyway, I really enjoyed it, and it was good. It was good fun, and Ken was good fun. He was very patient, and he took it very well. So. Yeah. He's a good sport.
And it's good because, I mean, these games are just all about just learning the game, really, these first ones. It's going to be interesting once the tournaments kick in because once you've done a couple of these games, you realize that a game takes about 2 to 3 hours to play. I'm really interested to see the first tournament come out, like the actual tournament where we build and we compete. And there's actual, it matters where you place in the.
Well, I think what's going to happen is because the games take so long. I think that they'll decrease the size of the army probably for tournaments.
No, I can't see that because then that would just suck. It has to be an 800-point tournament, or it
Well, how much last was 500, right?
Yeah.
So if they went maybe 600.
No, it's got to be 800 points. If the tournaments aren't 800 points, I'll go play the X-Wing.
You're gonna play X-Wing anyways.
I know that, but I'll go play the X-Wing tournaments. Because the cost of things, you don't really get a really, really fun army to build until you got 800 points, and you could put more than 3 things, 4 things.
Well, like I said, I don't know. The game's fairly new still. It's just starting to get it going.
Well,
so
talking about
that, let's get into some of the new stuff that's being released.
So one thing I want to say is when the game first came out, and probably in one of the few Legion videos that we did, I said, when you start, you have to buy 2 starter packs, and then you just need to buy 2 sets of troopers for both sides, and then 1 extra bike, 1 extra set of bikes, and your walkers and your flyers, and you're ready to go. The speed that this game is now coming out in, I'll be honest, if I could do it again, I would have bought 1 starter box. Just 1 starter box, and then held off and bought what I wanted. Because, I mean, I went out and I bought, for the troopers on both sides, Imperial and Rebels, I had enough to do 6 groups. And now as I see the pieces coming out, I will never do 6 groups of troopers, Rebel or Imperial.
Well, the good thing about me waiting is I only have to buy 1.
Yeah. So
because they're coming out with whole whack.
And you look at what else they're coming out. I mean,
Imperial. Let's go over the Imperial.
Yeah,
so
Imperial get the E-Web heavy blasters. We've all seen them released. They're gonna kick butt and they get a move. They don't get to shoot when they move, but you're gonna have a gun placement that if you don't like where it's placed, you can move it. Whereas the
Rebels are getting a 1.4 FD laser cannon team unit expansion,
which is decent. Only once it's on the board, it doesn't move. Wherever you place it,
it stays there.
It stays there.
It must be a long distance though.
No, but these are going to be like tanks. These are basically going to be hit like tanks. At least the Imperial one can move, and you can't move and shoot. But
you're saying that the laser cannon one is not going to be able to move for this one?
No. But it's going to shoot like distance.
Wait a minute. This laser cannon, isn't it the ones that were on Hoth?
Basically, yeah.
So, okay. So then, if they're like a stationary building, you probably
it won't be a building. It's an actual placement.
Yeah, but those ones might have a longer range placement, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying that they're junk. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is like if
they're going to
for you to be able to use them and utilize that, they're probably going to have a longer range of placement.
Oh yeah,
like they'll probably put them out at a range. Like
no,
we're set up at a range 1.
They'll have to be in your placement zone.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean,
either way,
we don't know.
We know we got the big guns. We got some decent artillery being put in for both sides. And then for operatives, I mean, we're going to get Boba Fett. We all know about that. He's going to fly. It'll be interesting. And we're going to get the Scout Trooper expansion unit, which I can't wait. Snipers. And the box looks like it comes with 5 guys. You can break it up into a group of 2 and a group of 3. It'll be fun to see how that plays out. And for the
Rebels, we have the Han Solo Commander expansion coming out. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
And
he's definitely somebody that I'll be playing.
Yeah.
So like, I really like Luke. So I will probably end up, depending on what Han Solo is able to do, I will probably end up playing like Han Solo Luke and not playing Leia, or I'll do Han Solo Leia and not play Luke. So Han Solo is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, so he's definitely
Boba Fett's mine.
So he'd be definitely he'll probably in my builds anyways. He'll probably be a staple commander in my builds.
And then you guys are getting the same thing too. Your own.
Well, what did you get next there?
Well, the Scout Troops.
Let's go on to your next one, and then I'll go.
Well, no, that's why I said the Scout Troops.
Yeah, we're getting the. No, we always have this one.
Oh no, what's it after?
And then we're getting Rebel Commandos. A Rebel Commandos unit. So Rebel Commandos are like, they're like the ones that Leia and Han had on. I forgot the planet. The one of the Ewoks. Yeah, that one. They're Rebel Commandos.
They're going to be the same idea as the Scout Troopers. I bet you there's going to be snipers in there. They're going to be send them out, do some shooting.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
But you look at those. You look at those coming out. Then recently, as we all know, they announced Emperor Palpatine coming out, and of course his Imperial Royal Guards,
the red guys.
The red guys. So I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying. If you haven't bought anything yet, this is a game to get into.
Oh, for sure.
When people were beginning, people were saying buy 2 starters and buy all this stuff. I think the game's got to a point with it. There's enough stuff coming out.
You don't need to buy a lot of it.
You don't buy 1 starter, and then
I would
just
still
fill in with what you want, because the starter's good for some assistance and your leader and the basics of the game.
I would probably buy some walkers.
You don't need.
I'd probably buy a couple walkers. Like I'd probably don't you get 1 walker?
You get 1 walker and a starter.
And how many walkers can a Rebels unit have usually?
3.
So I would probably still buy 2 walkers because I would want to play.
Well, I bought 3 walkers. I love those things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, is those 3 walkers, I would probably buy enough to put a field of those on.
Yeah,
and then I would probably I don't know if I'd buy those airships though, the air speeders.
You know what?
Like those things up top.
The Stronghold tournament that I was doing, my partner for the 4 800-point games, he had 2 of them on the board, and I won the first 3 games. The 4th game I lost, and it was really only because I spent my time blowing both of them out of the space that he had enough time to sneak his troops and get them in for the points. If they weren't there, I would just sent my walker in and blown his troops to hell, and the game would be over.
Yeah, but see, you're one of those types of guys where if you see something like that, you want to go out and attack it because you like blowing up ships
if you leave those things alone and you allow your opponent to fly them over your troops, they can do lots of damage to your troops before you get rid of them.
Well, like I said, we'll see what happens.
But that's why I said
aren't they expensive? Aren't those expensive?
No worse than the walker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how many can you have though? Usually
2. Well, you can have 2 heavy. It's heavies, so you can have 2. But that's what I'm saying. For tournaments, they have to have 800 points. With the stuff that's coming out and the stuff that's already out, and they still haven't said what's going to be the tag. The rebel tag for Imperial Royal Guards.
Well, the thing is like you look at this is very basic. There's nothing on here that gives you a lot of the details on the game.
It's all on the website.
So it's all on their website. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, the game itself, I think, is going to...
It's progressing quickly.
I think it's progressing a little bit too quickly. Especially for somebody like myself who is... hasn't gotten into it yet, that wants to get into it. So now when I go in, if I want to be able to have stuff, then I'm like, okay, well, I want to have certain pieces. So then I'll only, that's why I'm saying, right? Like, how many of these can you have? How many of that can you have? Right. So if you can have 3 walkers in 1 unit, well, then I'll only buy enough to have that 1 unit. Yeah. Because I'll only ever use 1 unit.
Well, and that's why I think if you jump in now, it might look scary because there's already so much out. And there's so much coming.
I'm only playing Rebels though,
but the point is, I think you don't get caught up in that first rush like I did, where you just bought everything and just had it. Now you sit back and you realize, well, you can wait till stuff comes out and then just kind of add bits and pieces to a starter set. So, sorry FFG, but from now on, if somebody says I want to play Legion, how should I start? I'm going to say buy 1 starter set. And take a look at what the other options are, and just add the bits and pieces to your army.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, how many things came in a Fleet Troopers box?
You just get 1 troop.
Yeah, but how many are troops? Or how many?
7. Same as all the troops.
I mean, like those. Well, I don't know.
There you go.
Give me a break. That's why I'm asking the question. This guy, man, here I'm trying to ask a question. He's like, keep me a hard time about it.
That's what I do.
Unbelievable. But like for me, for instance, like. I will probably only ever run 1 Fleet Trooper unit. Like, I'll never run more than 1 Fleet Trooper.
I'm going to buy a 2nd.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple builds where Leia's got 2 groups of Fleet Troopers. Leia, whatever. Princess Cinnamon Buns.
That's why he is... That's why he's an Imperial player, not a Rebel player. He can't even pronounce one of the staple characters' names.
Scum Imperial. Rebels.
Actually, I might even consider actually not buying into Legions and playing the robots.
The robots.
Yeah, they're supposed to be coming out with a new faction.
No, I don't think they'll come out with the new faction.
Because
they've divided it into
the
dark
droids,
and light.
the droid army.
It's droid. It's not robots.
That's what I meant droids. That's what I meant droid army. The droid army.
When the droid army comes out, I will be buying all of it.
So, like, I'm seriously, honestly thinking maybe, because I just want to get into one, so I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll wait and I'll just buy the.
You could be
I'll just buy
waiting
the
a while,
droid.
though. I don't think the droid's going to come out anytime soon.
Okay, I'll stick with Rebels. I'm still a Rebel player, anyways, but I would love to play with the.
Well, the models are pretty awesome to build too.
You know what? They seem pretty simple to build. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's
and they're paying attention. I think they're paying attention to the forums because they just recently updated their dealing with the terrain and the points of views and this and that. They basically redid the manual on that too. So that was nice.
The app that you use, is that a secondary app from a secondary
Yeah,
person?
it's not FFG.
Or is it not? No. See, I think that what FFG should I think you should have done, it's like what you're doing with X-Wing, is release its own you should have released with Legions. I think they should have released their own app with it as well.
No, I use an app by Prophet Studios, and it's just what is it called? It's just Legion's Army Builder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it works awesome. You guys did a great job for me.
Star Wars Legion Builder.
Yeah, and it works just great.
No. I think it works fantastic. But I'm just saying that FFG should have released an app like they're releasing with the X-Wing, so that they can control things a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
They
probably will. In
the other reason I'm saying that,
6 years
the other reason I'm saying that is if they would have released the app at the same time, then they could have used it as a test form for the 2.0. See how well they can control it.
I've done software development, and you want to actually test all that before you release it.
I know. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
I mean,
right. So what? Anyways, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is I think that they should have released it the same way that they did with 2.0.
I think with X-Wing 2.0, that is the platform they're using as a testing ground to see if that's the way
because there's so much X-Wingers.
Because they already have the history and the background with X-Wing. They already know the dynamics they're playing with. They can apply it to their software and tweak it at what they need tweaked, but they already know what they're playing with. So I think that's where 2.0 is sitting. With Legions, I could eventually see them if 2.0 is successful with that software. Eventually going that way with Legions.
Well, I'm thinking they'll do the same thing after a certain amount of time. They're going to relaunch it like they do everything else.
Yeah,
it's a typical concept with FFG. They always do it. Like even with Game of Thrones, they had an original version, and then they released the 2.0 version, the second version. So there seems to be every game they have, they seem to re-release it.
What's the dice rolling one? I played it for a while.
Star Wars Dice Master? Destiny?
No, Destiny. They've already kind of done a little mini re-release of the Destiny 2 to try to get that going. That's too bad. I really like that game. The first release, the second release wasn't too bad. The third release was retarded, and the game was so out of balance, it just became a waste of time. And I noticed around the third release, basically anybody I played with in all the stores, it kind of just disappeared. That kind of killed the game. It just got so broken.
Like I said, I honestly think that it's a regular FFG move. Right, well, so I think that anybody who's integrated into any FFG game should sometime. I'm not saying right away. They're not going to do it right away, but I'm saying sometime they're going to make a second edition, and they're going to They're going to say you can't play with the first edition anymore.
But this is still in baby steps.
Yes, but
I mean, I wouldn't worry about a second edition for another 4 or 5 years.
No. I'm not saying to worry about it. I'm just saying that probably there's going to probably be one because it's a regular flow with FFG.
You know what? Even if you've played Warhammer and 40K and everything else, they all go through that stage where they do the big change up, and you have to buy the new books and the new rules.
That's
and
true.
This and that. That's just the nature. That's how you draw new people to play. That's how you keep old people hopefully satisfied.
I don't mean
to
be devil's advocate. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But Legions is So I'm really looking forward to playing my third match.
Yeah, and I think I'll put a couple walkers. We'll get some walkers in
So
your build.
I'm looking forward to seeing what those are that's going to inquire on doing.
Yeah.
But the amount of dice I was rolling and how I was playing, and with a lot of the new stuff coming out, there's a lot of Legion stuff going on right now. I'm extremely excited to see where and how it's going to be going. We are going to try to do more Legion videos. Please, make that accessible. It will be more accessible.
We'll get more stuff going. Legions was a little slow to get some drive happening for store play and that out this way. I was driving into Vancouver basically to do playing. We're out in Abbotsford, so it's like an hour or so drive to get into the early games and that at some of the other stores. But it's starting to pick out here too.
All you guys that are playing Legions, continue. Like, I want to make sure you guys all use our website too, right? So not our website, sorry, our Facebook page, the Crimson Core Tabletop Gaming Facebook page.
Events or anything.
Please use it. Join the group. It's free. The page is free. It's uploaded free, so anybody can join it. You just click on and join. They don't have to be approved by anybody to have you join it. And you join it so it's open. Put your events on there. Join it. Talk, chat, have fun with it. Use it as your valve to communicate with other Legion communities, right?
Emperor Palpatine has a card that lets him assign all his troops.
Well, why didn't you explain that when? Why didn't you explain that
That
when?
just popped in my head. He is going to be so awesome.
Okay, so here we were talking about wrapping up the video, and this guy all of a sudden just dropped something on the video.
Well, that's just the way it flows, dude. That's just the way it flows.
Oh my goodness.
Well, all of these we could go into more detail, but I'll be honest. FFG's flooded the airways with this stuff. I want to see the toys. All of this stuff is on pre-order. I checked today to see if there's any dates, but there isn't. But it's all on pre-order. The blasters and that I think we should see before the end of the summer. Same with Boba Fett and the Scouts and all that. Emperor Palpatine and Royal Guard, I believe we're going to see more going towards Christmas time.
Well, I don't know when Han will come out, because right now everybody's pretty much playing with Leia a lot. So
she's
good.
Not too bad.
She's good. So with that being said, things are moving along quite nicely with Legion.
Yeah, we got a group started at Nerd Haven.
To be honest, I'll be honest with you, I do believe they are releasing things in Legion too fast.
And I don't. Because
I think it's
a miniatures-based game.
They're dropping things, I think, a little bit too fast.
It's a miniatures-based game, and the one thing you need in a miniatures-based game is options. When you have 800 points to spend and you don't have enough options to really fill 800 points, that's a problem. When you have 800 points to spend and you have too much stuff to fill that 800 points, that is when the game gets good, because that's when people get creative with their builds. Right? You need...
I should have got this game. I should have got the game in the beginning, because I don't want to be behind again like I was in X-Wing.
You're never behind in X-Wing. You just buy the latest ship.
Anyways, we're not talking about that, but we're talking about Legions.
But no, so. I think the release, if as long as you're not one of those guys who has to go and buy 6 of everything when it comes out.
Like you?
Yeah, I think the release schedule. I think the release schedule is good, because I think it's better for the game to have more choices, so that you have more variety when you do play other people. Whereas right now, it's almost to that point where it's not like that, but it is where if I go play 100 points, I'm pretty clear. I'm pretty safe. I know what the other guy's going to be playing.
True, but so. I'll be honest with you. The game is going to be it's becoming more and more popular. A lot of people are talking about it. There's tons of stuff going on Facebook, but please. Make sure you use our Crimson Core Tabletop Gaming Facebook page.
If you have any events or promotions you want to do,
slap it on there.
Log in to Facebook, find Crimson Core, and just use this as a poster board.
Yeah,
and put your stuff on.
add yourself to the page. It's not gonna. There's no charge for joining or anything like that. Also, if there's stuff that you want us to talk about on Legion that we haven't touched base on, hey, email us at the Crimson Core CTG at gmail.com.
Yeah, we haven't had anything really.
Crimson CTG
since the last unboxing.
Right.
But I mean, we got this when the blasters and all that come out. We'll do an unboxing of that, and we got good stuff coming down the future. We got to record a game. I think as soon as the play gets better, so that we're not sitting here for 3 hours. If you guys want to watch a live game for the full 3 hours, let us know. We'll record one. It's all good.
We're gonna do one anyways.
Well,
the fact is we're also, I know we've been asked by several people if we're going to do live streaming. We are working on that to do live stream. So just be patient. We're getting there.
Well, I mean, there's not really tournaments to live stream yet.
No.
But by the time there are, we should be up and running for that.
Anyways, thank you very much for the evening. We'll
Thanks
talk
a lot.
about it.
Just a quick little blurb out there, and don't be afraid.
Rebels, go Rebels!
Oh, good Lord.
Rebels, go Rebels!
Anyways, have a good night.
Good night. Bye.